Good morning, everybody. My name is Gert Jørgensen, and we are today presenting a webinar with the title 7 Key Factors for Success Factors for Making Your ASIC a Game Changer. With some practical information, you are able to type questions in the question box. And there will also be some polls at the end of the seminar. So please, if you have questions during the presentation, type in questions, and when we are finished with the presentation, we will grab those that we can manage. I am here today with Yannick Nielsen, who is acting as Vice President for ASIC development, and Yannick have been PhD in electrical engineering since 2003, and after that he joined Analog Devices and Mellanox until 2013, and then he became director in IT development and verification at Mellanox. In 2018, Yannick became a colleague of mine because he joined the company, and so the two of us, we are going to lead this webinar. And the agenda for today will be, first I will talk a little bit about benefits from ASIC, and then Yannick will present you with some success factors for ASIC, and then some use cases in the end, and then we will go to some questionnaires. Presto yes, that one. Presto Engineering, we have done ASIC for more than 35 years, and are having 3 major hubs with 160 experts. We have 5 test floors with mainly advanced testers, and in the history we have done more than 100 ASIC projects. We are today delivering around 50 million devices per year, and this gives over lifetime a lot of devices. That's why we put 1 billion units produced, but it is still going. Inside ASICs, we work in, let's say, 3 major areas: industrial, healthcare, and automotive. And in industry, it's of course this hype 4.0 or IoT things, which are getting a good traction, but also smart tracking and access control is giving us many projects. And then, of course, intelligent smart buildings inside environmentals and home protection. We see many ASICs. Inside healthcare, it is more the global trend of miniaturization, or let's say point-of-care diagnostics, which are creating ASIC projects. We see that all those big hospital equipment, they are going out in the field, and to do diagnostics on the spot is a hype area in healthcare. Another product which have helped us to create many ASIC projects is this in vitro devices, which are screening tests. And COVID didn't do a bad thing for us there, because there are many devices for screening tests coming up, and then of course not only the test result is important, but it's also the digitalization of those data, which are important. Patient monitoring, and I call it Internet of Medical Things. Here it is mainly intelligent bandages and patches that we see where electronic is going inside. In automotive, we do a lot in radar, lidar, and tire pressure, but also for hybrid electrical cars, we see a lot of, let's say, battery management systems that needs to be having an ASIC inside. And then our cash cow is toll road digital short-range communication devices. All those devices have different, let's say, benefits, and we have grouped those benefits in 9 points. And here you see the list, and I cannot tell you that one of them is good for you. It's probably a combination, but let's talk a little bit about them. Does maximize your return of investment, and this is, of course, economics. So if you are doing a lot of volume, it's probably good that you go into ASIC if the production cost is lower than else. Then you have the performance also, and here it's about speed, data transfer, and calculation. That gives you a better performance. But performance is not always measured in electrical performance. It could also be other parameters coming out of this, and that's where we have power efficiency listed here. If you have less devices and higher integration level, you will see higher power efficiency. Now, on the second line, we have first IPs, and here we see a lot of people who are using ASICs in order to protect their IP, but also to, let's say, reuse IPs in the roadmap of the company's development. So we have many examples of people who are actually only using ASICs because that it cannot be copied, and they develop their IPs for that. And then in the middle, we have reliability as a key parameter. It is obvious that less devices create less connections and thereby higher reliability. Supply chain security. Yeah, that's the big topic at the moment. Here during COVID-19, we were fighting a lot, of course, to keep supply chain intact. But the main driver for using ASICs here is, of course, that you cannot be exposed for last time buy a standard component, and you have, of course, full control over the supply chain. So that's a good motivator. In the first one in the corner, reduced size. Yeah, that's another, let's say, technology driver. If you don't have room for all the electronics in an application, you will of course get a reduced view of everything. And that ties a little bit up to fitting the application. If it is a wearable, it is not good if you go around with a big box. It needs to be a smart watch or something like that. And we have also seen a lot of projects who use ASICs because they want to increase the security and security against, let's say, copying, and therefore this is another motivation factor. And now we go to the actual presentation. Yannick will present the success factors to make your project a game changer. Thank you until now. I will revert.
So thanks a lot, Gert. And yes, I'll be taking the remainder of the presentation. And as the theme is of today's webinar is what are the 7 key success factors to make your ASIC project a game changer. So those are listed on this initial agenda slide, where the first item is getting the right objectives from the start, proving your concept, having a good start on your project by ensuring that your spec is good at the onset, knowing what right IPs that you actually need to accelerate your time to market. In other words, accelerate your development speed, because some of the blocks are indeed IPs that you can integrate readily. And having the right process for doing your ASIC development is obviously crucial, which is the 5th point. Number 6 is the validation of your ASICs, and 7, anticipate to be first time right.